The lightning shows my weakness, the thunder knows my secrets. The storm is like a brother, it knows me like no other. So let it rumble, let it roll, 'cause it's all I know. You can keep your calm and easy, but that peaceful life ain't for me. The harshest gales call out from the tree, like it can sense the reckless in me. And when the clouds roll in, it's like I'm home again. Don't need your safe and sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. I see the waters rising with waves as strong as iron. My soul was born for running. The darkness is my compass, and I will follow where it goes, 'cause it's all I know. You can keep your sunshine story, but that peaceful life ain't for me. The harshest gales call out from the tree, like it can sense the reckless in me. And when the clouds roll in, it's like I'm home again. Don't need your safe and sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Sirens ring and run for shelter. I will chase that storm forever. The harshest gales call out from the trees, like they can sense the reckless in me. And when the clouds roll in, feels like I'm home again. Don't need your safe and sound, let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. So let the rain come down. Let the rain come down.
Welcome to the locker room. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I am Nancy. It is Friday, September 12th. Yesterday was 9/11. We must remember what happened on 9/11/2001. That was a very sad day. Okay, so let's get this party started. I thank y'all for being here. Please hit that thumbs up. I'm showing 3 thumbs up on my screen. All right, to get started. About my friend in Hutchinson. We took her to the hospital. I took her to the doctor's office to get her leg checked, because remember, her leg was broken prior to her incident last week. And she got the cast off of her leg after surgery, and they took the staples out from the surgery, but her bone is not healing due to her fighting cancer. So they're cutting off her chemotherapy until her bone can start healing. So she's fighting cancer, she's type 2 diabetes, and she's trying to get her bone to heal. Things are rough for her right now, and let's pray that they get better. Okay, and let's remember H. Davis, because on Monday he lost a close friend that was like a sister to him. She was walking across the street in a crosswalk and a car hit her. Um, and they blamed it on the crosswalk not being in the right place on the road for according to the traffic signal. So the person hit her, and the person should have been watching. That's all I'm saying. The person who hit her should have been watching, and she did not make it. That's sad, and I'm sorry for H. Davis's friend. Okay. And from what I can see, I think Brittany, HWGBJ, I don't know. I haven't been watching her channel, but I think she's still being harassed by other YouTubers from what I could see on X. So let's remember Brittany Jackson in her prayers and her family. All right, let's get this party started. Share screen. Window. Fair use. Everything in this is fair use. All of the links that I'm using today are in the description below the page. If you like my channel, please consider hitting the thumbs up. Please subscribe so you can see when I am able to go live. I'm going to try to go live more often. It's just life is getting in the way. And when I have to go help Henry, that's a full day. It's over an hour drive to Hutchinson. Usually when I go there, her husband takes a chance to go take care of things that he needs to do for the family. So it ends up being an all-day thing. When I went up there on Wednesday or Tuesday, I guess it was Wednesday. Yeah, when I went there on Wednesday, I got there about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I got home back to my house at 10:30 that night. So, yeah, it's an all-day thing when I go up there. But I got all her laundry done. I had to have something. I couldn't just sit on the couch. So I just did up her laundry because she can't get into the laundry room. It's down 2 steps and she can't walk on her right leg. So you help a friend. Okay, so we did the fair use, and we're going to talk today about Charlie Kirk. He has been all over the news. So I did a search, and this is a Google search, and it's got all these links I can go to, but I'm not actually going to those links. What I want to read is over here on this side. I need to make my cursor bigger. Over here, it says Charlie James Kirk was an American far-right political activist. Now, I'm not going politics here because that usually gets people in trouble. So, far right, to the best of my knowledge, means Republican. If you're not Republican, it shouldn't matter in this situation because we're talking about a man who was unalived needlessly. Okay? He was the author, conspiracy theorist, and media personality. He co-founded the conservative organization Turning Point USA in 2012. And was it something? I don't know. So he was born October 14th, 93, and passed September 10th, 25. He was 31 years old. That's too young to die. It's too young for anybody to die, in my opinion. And then it gives a timeline of what he does. You know, he was born in Arlington Heights, Illinois, volunteered the U.S. Senate campaign of Mark Kirk. I'm going to presume his father. I may be wrong. Co-founded Turning Point USA with Bill Montgomery. Married Erica Francevy. Launched Turning Point Academy and hosts the show on Salem's Media's The Answer. Okay, so he seemed like he was a really good man. and he cared a lot about America. That's all I'm going to say about him. Well, not about the political side, okay? There may be more that comes up in the story, okay? So let's go to the next page. We're going to go to Wikipedia. Yeah, Wikipedia gives a lot of information. Okay, right here at the top where the red and blue arrows are, it says a request that this article be changed to assassination of Charlie Kirk is under discussion. Please do not move this article until the discussion is closed. So they're trying to determine how it should properly be worded. Much like the case we worked last week with on Tuesday of the school teacher who was stabbed 20 times and they ruled it as self-inflicted. And you can't stab yourself in the back 10 times. It's just not possible. So they're trying to get her death certificate corrected. Okay. On September 10th, 2025, right-wing American conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was fatally shot while addressing an audience on the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. The outdoor event was the first in the fall for his American Comeback Tour organized by Turning Point USA, which he co-founded. The unaliving came amid deepening tensions and increasingly frequent political violence in the United States. Not at the event, but in the U.S. Overall, okay? It prompted widespread reactions from public figures, both domestically and internationally. An immediate manhunt ensued, in which ended on the morning of September 12th, when President Trump announced that a suspect had been turned in by someone close to him during an interview on Fox News. And a little bit of the background. Charlie Kirk was an American conservative political activist, author, and media personality known for being the co-founder and CEO of Turning Point USA, a close ally of the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump. Kirk utilized his skill in social media and campus organizing to become a highly influential figure in the hard right movement. Okay, far right politics, often termed right-wing extremist, encompasses a range of ideologies that are marked by ultra-conservatism. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. Okay. Because it's got big words in it, and big words I have to say about, and that makes me look dumb. Okay, so anyway. Described as something of a kingmaker by the New York Times, Kirk was able to rally support to protect embattled Trump cabinet nominees and against Republican Party figures he deemed insufficiently supportive of Trump. The Washington Post described him as one of the most prominent voices on the right. In the recent years, BBC News described Kirk as instrumental in the re-election of Donald Trump 2024. Okay, now, had this been written during a time when we had a Democratic president, regardless of who that might be, when I said up here, President Mr. Donald Trump, I would have said that also of a Democrat, because I don't get political. I am in the middle. I vote for who I think is best. Okay. The event and security. Kirk's last political rally prior to the event at Utah Valley University took place in Kentucky, where he appeared alongside United States candidate Nate Morris. Kirk appeared at UVU. Oh, I'm sorry. Kirk's appearance at UVU was the first step of his American comeback tour for the fall. He was traveling with the private security and with additional protection provided by university police and local authorities. A petition was circulated calling on the university to cancel its appearance. By the university stated it would allow him to speak in accordance with its free speech, and open discussion policies. Do you have an old pair you can wear while I try to glue those?
Not one that's going to have my vision all weird. Did you see the pictures I sent you?
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Don't break them. Don't break them. What? Oh, that's where she tried to glue it. Okay, I can see now.
Yeah, I was hit with a volleyball straight to the face.
That's sad. That's sad.
But I got back up like it was nothing. That's the thing about me. I can barely feel pain.
Okay.
Here's the lens. I don't know how that didn't break.
I'm glad that didn't break. Well, because it's a plastic lens, so that's the lighter for you. Okay.
How long will it be? Because I don't know the word till like 4. Everybody still got to leave early after dinner.
Okay, well, I'm still doing my live. So,
I can go without glasses, but it's just going to be difficult to read the...
Get an older pair, because they'll at least help your eyes some, okay? And then I'll do what I can with these, even if I have to take them to the eye doctor or something, okay? All right, thank you.
What's for dinner?
Leftovers?
Ooh.
Did you save yourself some of the chili?
Yeah.
We'll have that. I don't want him up here. Hello, H. Davis. How are you doing? Okay. Approximately 3,000 people attended the event, which was secured by 6 police officers and Kirk's private security personnel. Attendees later criticized the relaxed security, noting that no ticket was required to enter the amphitheater and that metal detectors were not used. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say that's bad, but I used to work as a security guard, an armed guard, and I've been to many events at outdoor amphitheater type places. And we didn't, there's usually not. It is very hard to get past when somebody that you're close to is taken away like that. It's really hard, and I'm sorry, and I'm praying for you every day. But they don't have metal detectors at amphitheaters. It's an outdoor venue. If people wanted to see it and needed a ticket and couldn't go through the metal detector, they could stand outside the fences and still see what's going on inside. I mean, there's no reason for metal detectors because the person who shot him very well could have been standing outside the fence because he was shot from a 200-foot range. That could have been outside the fence. You know, anything is possible. Security camera footage as examined by investigators showed that the gunman arrived at the campus at 11:52 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time and proceeded up the stairwell in the Losi Center to the roof. The speaking event began at noon, and at 12:23 p.m., Kirk was hit in the neck while speaking at an American Comeback Tour event. He was hit with a bullet, okay? Sitting under a tent displaying the tour title, Kirk was in a back and forth exchange with UVU student about mass shootings in the United States. A single shot was fired during the exchange, which hit Kirk in the neck. According to the university, the shot came from the roof of the Locy Center itself, 200 yards, 180 meters away. Okay, so if he was at the Locy Center, he wasn't even at the event. It's much like when the assassination was attempted on President Trump and he got shot in the air. The guy wasn't inside the event. He was on the roof of a building that was near the event. So having more security and having metal detectors and what have you would not have helped anybody inside the event arena. So that's where I go with that. Okay. Following the discovery of the shooter's position during the subsequent investigation, this was later reviewed to be 142 yards, or 130 meters. Emma Pitts, a desert news reporter who witnessed the event, told National Public Radio, "I just saw so much red juice coming out of the left side of Charlie's neck, and then he went limp." Former U.S. Representative Jason Chaffetz, who was in attendance, stated, "As soon as the shot went out, everybody hit the deck and everybody started scattering and yelling and screaming." Another witness told the New York Times that no one really got down until the people in the front of the stage did, and that people got down in waves. An eyewitness reported to CBS News that there was red juice pouring everywhere. Video footage also surfaced of the shooter running from the south corner of the Locy Center roof, where he banged Kirk, to the north corner where the ground was higher and he could hang from the edge of the roof and drop to the ground, which occurred at about 12:24 p.m. Palm prints were later found at the edge of the roof, as well as smudged, from which samples were collected and took for DNA. And a footprint was found on the ground, which showed he was wearing Converse tennis shoes. He then moved into a wooded area north of the campus where the weapon was later found. According to police radio, the first report of the bang occurred at 12:26 p.m. At 12:31 p.m., an officer then reported bangs heard near the library. At 12:35 p.m., the officer added, "maybe the CS building," before describing the assailant as wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long weapon. A minute later, the officer elaborated, "on top of the building on the north side, just east of the library." Kirk was pronounced unalived at the regional hospital in Orem. After undergoing emergency surgery, his unaliving was announced by Donald Trump at 2:40 p.m. on Truth Social. The investigation and campus response. On the day of the bang, the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives assisted at the scene. A manhunt ensued as authorities searched for the perpetrator. At 12:37 p.m., the university closed the campus and urged everyone to leave. At 2:01 p.m., the university instructed those remaining on campus to secure in place until police officers can escort you safely off campus. Classes and activities at all campuses, including satellite locations, were suspended until September 15th. Within minutes, the shooting graphic videos of the killing recorded by attendees began circulating on social media, where they were viewed millions of times. Some platforms added warnings or age restrictions, while others struggled to remove the footage. Some analysts predicted that the widespread online circulation of videos showing the unaliving of such a prominent figure was unprecedented and likely to have lasting consequences. Emerson Brooking, the director of strategy and the Digital Forensic Research Lab of the Atlantic Council, stated, "This is the first time such a widely recognized figure had been unalived in such a public way and spread this way on social media." I'm thinking in my mind, okay, just as I'm reading this, okay, so he was right wing and he was very close with President Trump. An assassination was attempted on President Trump, but President Trump only got it in the ear. Okay, we all know that. But this guy was like a right-hand man to Mr. Trump. I'm wondering if he was like, if they were like, if I can't get to Mr. Trump, I'm going to get to one of his close allies. And maybe they could lure Trump out, Mr. Trump out, and then harm him. I don't know. And I don't know if Mr. Trump was at this event. It sounds like he was at least at the hospital. So I don't know. Mr. Trump could have been there in support of him. If Mr. Trump was near the stage, which I don't know because I didn't see the event, Mr. Trump could have been right behind him and actually been the intended victim. We don't know. We won't know until we see actual video footage, which I doubt we'll ever see. But we don't know. Initial arrest. 2 people were arrested in the aftermath of the bang bang, but both were released, and authorities later said that neither was the perpetrator. Police arrested on campus grounds George Zinn, a conservative libertarian activist, after Zinn claimed to have shot Kirk. Authorities later clarified the arrest was a potential obstruction of justice and that Zinn had already been released. It was also reported that Zinn had a history of mental health issues and disrupting public events. Within hours of the bang bang, FBI Director Kashi Patel announced on social media that the subject of Kirk's unaliving had been apprehended, while Utah Governor Spencer Cox stated that a person of interest was detained. Within 2 hours of Patel's initial announcement, he stated the subject had been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Then there was a manhunt. Authorities stated that the perpetrator had fled the scene from the rooftop of the Losi Center in a press conference on September 11th. Officials said that they had good video footage, and they were trying to identify the perpetrator using facial recognition. Later that day, and offered a reward of up to $100,000 for information. Law enforcement recovered an older make 30-60 caliber Mauser system manually operated hunting weapon from a wooded area near the incident. They also have collected a footwear impression and palm print and forearm imprints for analysis, which will be investigated by the FBI. A manhunt ensued as authorities searched for the perpetrator, who remains unidentified and believed to be male and of college age. By late morning local time, authorities believed that they had the name of the third person of interest, but an arrest warrant had not yet been issued. By late afternoon, the characterization was changed to potential suspect. The Utah Department of Public Safety released a news imagery just after 6 Mountain Time. Using the prior terminology, the unaliving has been described as an assassination by the Utah Governor Spencer Cox. However, the perpetrator of the incident and the motive remain unidentified. Cox stated the D penalty would be pursued against the perpetrator when arrested. On September 12th, Trump announced that the suspect was in police custody after his father convinced him to turn himself in. Okay, there we go with that. So apparently the kid had gone home and his dad said, "You need to do the right thing, son. Because what you did is not." So then we'll go to the next page. And this one is from USA Today. When I started my search, I started for who is Charlie Kirk, because I didn't know who the man was. I didn't know he was a right-wing activist person or anything like that. Now, I'd heard of that that movement, the Whatever Today movement. Okay, so here's a small video. I guess it's a press release. Back this up. It won't back up. All right. I'm going to bring this up here, and we'll see what to know about Tyler Robinson. Okay, Tyler Robinson is the man suspected of holding the weapon. Suspected unaliver of Charlie Kirk, according to USA Today. Oh, I don't have no.
Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible.
Well, we missed something. Okay.
I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence.
Okay, I agree with that. You know, the old saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They might hurt you in here a bit for a minute, but eventually, even though you remember the words that were said and who said them, you'll get past the event and be able to go on. Okay?
And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable.
Okay, this says Tyler Robinson was arrested for the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. And he's a young guy, looks like a college-age student. Now, I don't know why they put the poke vests, is what my husband used to call them when he worked security at the prison. It's a vest where they got Kevlar in them. I don't know why they put them on there for their mugshot. Authorities say Robinson was not a Utah Valley student. He lived with his parents.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
So he was telling his family before the incident happened that, you know, I don't like this man. I don't agree that he should be here. whatever the conversation was. But what we know is he had hatred for Mr. Kirk. Robinson also wrote messages to his friends in the messaging app of Discord. Anybody know his Discord page? He described intricate details about the plans labeled as jokes per investigators. Ooh. So he told what he planned to do, but he was putting it out there as, I'm just joking about this. A lot of times it's a cry for help when you say, I'm just joking. I'm serial. Authorities also detailed the markings found on the ammunition Robinson allegedly left behind.
Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not. And by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself.
Okay, so why would he call a right-wing conservative a fascist? Because I don't know what the word fascist means, but I don't know. Okay, now we're going to go to Microsoft on Bing for the next 1, 2, 3 videos. The first one is the news conference on the actual incident. Okay, so let me pull it up on my screen. Okay. Okay, let's go up bigger and let's go here. Now I cut out the first part of it where you can see the people standing around and waiting for the lady to walk up to the podium and because there's no need for all that stuff. Okay. And I will have to do, for fair use, I'll have to cut the video like I did to talk about the statements that we were reading and stuff. It's only going to be a minute before she walks up on stage. I wasn't able, see, here she comes. I wasn't able to stop it.
Okay, is everybody ready for that spelling? FBI speaker is Special Agent in Charge, Robert Bowles, R-O-B-E-R-T, last name B-O-H-L-S. And then for the Utah Department of Public Safety, we have Commissioner Bo Mason, B-E-A-U, last name M-A-S-O-N. Anyone need me to repeat that? One more time. Robert Bowles, R-O-B-E-R-T, Bowles, B-O-H-L-S, and then Bo Mason, B-E-A-U, Mason, M-A-S-O-N.
He was rude walking in front of the camera.
Everybody got that? Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Hillary Kellner. I'm the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. Today, we will have 2 speakers, one representing the state of Utah and one representing our federal agencies. They will be providing some updates as well as a recap of what happened here at Utah Valley University yesterday. We will be able to take a couple of questions after they are done speaking, but it will be short in order to stay in tune with the president speaking at 9:45. So I'll go ahead and introduce Commissioner Bo Mason.
Good morning. I am Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I'd be remiss
Oh my
if we didn't
gosh.
start off today and recognize the significance of the day.
Oh my gosh. Did you see that? Okay, let me go back up just a little bit. Oh, back up. Okay. Okay. We're going to rewatch this. Just
We will be able to take a couple of questions after they are done
I wanna
speaking,
show
but
you
it will
what
be
I just
short in
saw.
order to stay in tune with the president speaking at 9:45. So I'll go ahead and introduce Commissioner Bo Mason.
Good morning.
Does this dude right here not look a lot like Sheriff Craddock? Oh my gosh. He could be his twin, almost his twin brother or younger brother. He looks so much like Craddock. I've noticed that there's a lot of people in the stories we've been covering lately that the men want to represent themselves looking like, I don't know if it's just the beard or what. That's why I don't like facial hair on men. It makes them all look the same.
I am Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I'd be remiss if we didn't start off today and recognize the significance of the day. Historically, on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group
All right, have a
to
good
recognize
day.
and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead, we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they face scrutiny, they face threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that.
What did I do? Well, I guess we're not going to be able to see that one because I lost it. I lost it. I was clicking pause and I can't get
Grand Canyon University is ranked
it's
among
a
the top
commercial.
25 best college campuses in America. And in 2023, traditional campus students.
All right, I'm sorry.
I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release.
I can see we have 6 people in the room that have hit the thumbs up. I want to thank y'all. And you're welcome to talk in here. You're welcome to say whatever you want on the screen. I'll try to communicate with you as well.
That at this time. We're working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we are confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated.
Now we remember Erica was Mr. Kirk's wife. She has that weird last name that I couldn't pronounce, and I apologize. And maybe he can't pronounce her last name either. But she was the wife. I don't know if he had children or they had children, but that's who Erica was.
As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen the state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel.
I never knew that about Utah. I always thought Utah was a bunch of Mormons. And they lived like a man had several wives or whatever. That's all I ever heard about Utah. I never heard a lot about, of course, I don't follow politics either.
We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear.
This is what my prompts used to look like, and this is what they look like now. This is all thanks to this prompt enhance button in augment code. With just one click,
Can't
I don't know why you have to have
overstate
prompts.
the tragedy
Not what I do.
and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles in charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the.
I didn't know that was him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stopped the video earlier and backed up and said, look how much he looks like Snuggle Struggle.
Salt Lake field office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning, I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Okay, I have a question here. What he just said, the FBI's mission is to uphold whatever, okay? Why has the FBI not stepped in and helped us try to find Sebastian Rogers? The FBI is all over this. This man is political. He is a right-wing activist and what have you. But why isn't the FBI getting in on the Sebastian Rogers case?
Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him.
Now, the weapon did not unalive Mr. Kirk. The man that was laying on the roof unalived Mr. Kirk. Let's remember that. It's not the weapon's fault. The weapon was only doing what it was told to do. Because you could put it on the front porch all day long. People come and go at the house all day long. And ain't nobody going to die if nobody touches it. Because the weapon didn't do it.
We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these types of cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm not going to go through this whole 2-hour-long thing. I just wanted to get through that part of it because they're talking about the importance of what happened and how they have looked at persons of interest and that sort of stuff. All right, now we've got another one. See if it'll let me pull it up this way because, yeah. Okay, pull this one up. This one's more about the location and what happened at the location. I've got video or sound.
Charlie Kirk's 14-city tour was here in Orem, Utah, about 40 miles away from Salt Lake City at Utah Valley University. Thousands of people, mainly students, were gathering in a large open courtyard. Minutes before the shooting, video from Kirk's own X account shows an open space and a barrier between the tent and the students, with multiple security guards standing at the fence line. Police say there were 6 campus police officers there as well.
A lot of people, Utah, tell you what.
Kirk was a rock star among young conservatives, largely because of events like this, meeting college students up close on campuses across the country. Police say roughly 3,000 people showed up for this one, all watching.
Okay, do you see? This man is dressed because he's doing an event to college students on college campus. So he is dressed, rather than dressing up to look down on them, he's dressing the same as they are to look equal to them. That is very well respected in my book.
And listening as it happened. Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Kirk is rushed into an SUV and taken to the hospital. Panicked crowds ran as police jumped in.
And let's be advised, UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information.
In the scramble after Kirk was shot, video taken from inside a building captures what appears to be someone running across a rooftop. That rooftop is this building, called the Locy Center, less than 200 yards away from the spot where Kirk was hit. If that runner was the shooter, he would have been positioned about here. From this shot, you can see the rooftop of the Locy building is pretty easy to access. It's connected to another building by an elevated walkway, which, as you can see, is only separated from the roof by a railing. Aerial footage after the shooting shows police tape on the roof of the Locy building. And at about 12:36 p.m., an officer describes a possible suspect.
He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle. Is on top of the building on the far north side, just east of the library, wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest.
6 hours later, Utah Valley University issued an all clear, saying the threat is over. Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old father of 2 young children, did not survive.
That
Struggling with a sports.
totally horrible. Totally horrible. Okay, next we're going to go to the shooting suspect being identified. This is from CBS News, and the link is in the description below under Bing Videos, because I put Bing used 3 times because all 3 of these videos came from the same site.
Looked like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President,
he's in custody.
Your suspicion.
I do believe what's going across behind there is that this is the show that's on today every morning called Fox and Friends. And yeah.
Was that he was radical left. And now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me just, and by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on here?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud of you.
That president has information that the rest of us don't. Let's bring in Carter Evans. Carter, what are you hearing about this?
Well, the president didn't give too many details about how the arrest went down, when or where. We're going to get more of that information at a news conference that is now scheduled for 9 a.m. Eastern. What we do know is that last night, authorities released some very clear surveillance video showing what they say was the shooter on top of the roof of the building where he shot Charlie Kirk from. You see him jumping down, running away. But yesterday,
I just got a news report popped up in when I get emails that the Department of Justice is now working on the research into the suspect. They're doing that. They're actually in the middle of the investigation right now.
Also released photos of the suspect, and these were enhanced, and they were really good photos. I mean, you could get a really good look at this guy's face. He had sunglasses on, but other than that, you can get a pretty good look at him. Now, they told us at the news conference last night that they've received more than 7,000 tips on this one, and they've been following up on every one of them. They've also interviewed more than 200 people. And when it comes to digital tips, this is people uploading video and photos to the FBI's website that might be useful for the investigation. They say they received more or as many, or the last time they received this many digital tips was after the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013.
All right, Carter, thank you so much. Let's turn now to Weisha Zhang here in the studio. Weisha, good morning to you. What are you hearing? I kept saying when you saw the shirt that he was wearing, his face Family members certainly know who he is. What are you hearing about this arrest?
Well, Gail, according to President Trump, that's exactly what happened here. Somebody very close who knew who this person was, a minister, according to President Trump, recognized him and then went to a friend who is a U.S. Marshal to report it. And then the president said that after that, it was the shooter's family who got involved. He said, namely, the suspect's father. And he did couch it, obviously. The president said, look, this is still preliminary, but I have a high degree of confidence that we have the shooter in custody. And, you know, Carter talked about how they have 7,000 tips. Gail, it was just apparently one that made all the difference because this pastor saw all the images that we were watching and then reported it to somebody. And the president said he found out about this about 5 minutes before he went on set here in New York City to talk about, you know, everything else. And then he had this breaking news. So that is what we know today. We haven't even heard this yet from law enforcement officials. But again, the president making this very significant announcement this morning.
Well, breaking news is always a very fluid situation, but you would think if anybody has the information, the president would have the most recent information. And to hear that possibly his father and the minister turned him in, every time I saw that picture, Weijia, I kept thinking, so many people know who this man is. So many people do. And I was hoping that he would be caught sooner rather than later.
Yes, and that's exactly why President Trump from day one said the same thing and begged people for information. And now we have critical information.
Weijia, thank you so much. Just to recap, President Trump says he is highly confident that the shooter in Wednesday's assassination of Charlie Kirk is in Utah, is now in police custody. Our coverage, of course, will continue throughout the morning on our streaming channel, CBS News 24/7. Many of you will now return to CBS Mornings. This has been a CBS News Special Report. I'm Gail King here in New York.
Okay, so that's the first they heard of the suspect being in custody. And as President Trump said, this is preliminary, but we believe. Okay? Now, let's get off on another note. Do you notice that Falcor is missing from right there? I sold him. He sold on YouTube or eBay. But tomorrow Saturday, I won't be here. I might be here Saturday. Okay. If I come on tomorrow, there will be, which will go for sale, it might, on my eBay page, a Tiffany turtle lamp. It has the light bulb goes in, the shell comes off, you put the light bulb in, and the turtle is a Tiffany turtle. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And when I tell you what I paid for it at a yard sale, you're going to fall right out of your chair, I'm telling you. Okay. So now we're going to go to an advertisement for shoes. These are the barefoot shoes. I'm wearing a pair, and I found out the other day that I can put a black light on them and they glow. It's just so cool. I love them. I wear them. I want to get some for winter because they're not mesh like the ones I have on now, but I don't like high tops. So I'm hoping that these are the not mesh ones because I want winter shoes, but I don't want my feet to freeze because of having a mesh top and with the open toe. So anyway, I love these. I have currently at this time, I have 2 pair, but I have purchased 7 pair since they came out because I love them. I buy them and give them away because I love them. Okay. Whoopee! Goldberg was wearing those this morning. Oh, really? That's awesome. Welcome to our other moderator, Amanda Panda. She hasn't been here because she didn't know I was live. Last time I went live, she said I told her about it and FBI released something. It just came up on my phone. Okay. So, been here in the background. Thank you for being here. You're keeping all the riff-raff. UNH Davis, you guys are great moderators. My moderators are the best. Every channel says their moderators are the best. My moderators are the best, okay? Okay, so we're going to go. Suspect in conservative activist Charlie Kirk's unaliving opposed his beliefs, Utah governor says. Okay, this is from USA Today also. The link is in the description below. This is a video, but it has been playing. So we're going to back it up, pause, come back to the beginning. There we go. Kash Patel evokes Valhalla in Charlie Kirk's farewell. From what I understand, Valhalla is another unaliving place. Not like up there, it's not like down there. Valhalla is like the act. Okay? Oh, we don't have any sound.
Said. And we will continue to work with.
Back up. Back up. We want to hear it. Let's get bigger. We want to see it too.
This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said. And we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions. And we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Okay. So, I mean, that was short, but it got the point across. He actually cares for Charlie Kirk. And regardless if you're Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. The man worked for the government and wanted to make America great. Okay? Oh, I forgot. I have to come over here. All right. Now we're going to see the rocket ship qualified code definer. It's an advertisement. Okay? So we're going to. Oh, what's going on here?
You've got a subscription for streaming movies and music, maybe even one for food. But what about
Okay, canceled event, unpaid athletes. Okay. While others in the world of opinions, we let the facts speak for themselves, according to Associated Press. While others may tell you how to feel about the headlines, Associated Press tells you what actually happened. No spin, no agenda, just journalism and respects your intelligence. Okay, so I click this off. Okay, there we go. Let me click this one off too. Are you going to click off? You're not going to click off? Okay, don't click off. Live update. Suspect in assassination of Charlie Kirk arrested on suspicion of Capitol Red Run. Weapons and obstruction offenses. Okay. Oh, this is the video, but I can't get this one to go off. Get off my screen! Okay, I'm going to do that. I can't. Okay, I can't make this video any larger. So we're gonna. We got to listen to an ad. I'm sorry, because I can't click the skip button because this one's here. Okay, all this is advertisements.
We got it.
Okay, here we go.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University.
Okay, so the kid goes home and he says to his family, well, I might be the one that did it. His family instantly jumps and takes care of the situation. That's what I'm saying.
Information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger.
Okay,
We got him.
so they're telling what vehicle he had, what he was wearing. The picture we saw, it looked to me like he was wearing a black shirt with the kind of an eagle flag logo on the front of it. But, you know, their video might have shown something different. I'm not going to say right from wrong here because I can only see what I can see. Okay. This is going to go talk about this from the Orlando Sentinel, and they're going to talk about the actual search for him. Okay. It says suspect Charlie Kirk unaliving became more political, opposed activist views, authorities say. Okay, so this is Mr. Charlie Kirk. This is that where people are praying for him and for his family and that sort of stuff, like a wake type thing. By Eric Tucker, Orem, Utah, Associated Press, a 22-year-old Utah man who was arrested and booked on red rum charges in the assassination of Charlie Kirk held deep disdain for the conservative activist provocative viewpoints and indicated to a family member that he was responsible for the bang bang, authorities said Friday. The arrest marked a major break in the case that shocked the country and raised fresh something. There's nothing more to read. So we can't go any further. But this is where they're talking, you know, about him. I didn't realize it was such a short article. Okay, so now we're going to go to the last page we have for this. And it's, okay. Again, we got a bunch of commercials. I still can't get that off my screen. Okay, so this is from Associated Press also, link in the description. Suspect in Charlie Kirk assassination expressed opposition to conservative activist views. Is this the same video we just watched?
We got him.
That's the same video we just
On the
watched.
evening of September 11th.
Okay, so we've already seen that. Released photos. Here's what President Trump had to say.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. Those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves.
I agree. Too many lives are being lost over political views. We're a country. A Republican was voted into office this year. We've got 4 years at least with a Republican in office. We just spent 4 years with a Democrat in office. Prior to, we had 4 years with this Republican in office. Prior to, we had 8 years with the Democrat in office. Okay, just because you want to be a Democrat or you want to be a Republican, that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. This year, we have a Republican in office. That's what matters. He's going to do the best he can with what he's given. That's my opinion. Should it be a Democrat in his position? I would say he's going to do the best he can with the best he's given. I'm neither way.
Themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God.
Okay, so that's what President Mr. Trump had to say about it. So, and I don't believe it's only because Mr. Kirk was a close tie with the Republican Party and with President Trump. I know they were friends, but if the speaker that's standing on stage had been a Democrat that was talking about the same things that Mr. Kirk was talking about, and this had happened to a Democrat, Mr. Trump, I believe in my heart, would say the exact same words about the loss of a person of government. Okay? Now, that's just all I can say about that. It's sad. I'm thankful that they, and when it comes to the trial, I'm sure this is going to be a big trial. Unless he actually confesses and is sentenced right away. But we'll know more later. Because he confessed to his family, kind of. So we'll know more later what's going to happen on that, which could be in the next few days. And I also hope that on another subject, on Summer Wells, I also hope that the autopsy people are able to determine quickly whether the remains found were hers or they belong to somebody else. Because we need to get on with trials on that case. We need to get this case closed. We need to find out what happened to poor little Summer Wells. And also hope that Sebastian Rogers is brought home quickly and safely. But in my opinion, that's not going to happen until we get another sheriff in office over there. So, with that being said, do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason they smile, and search for crime. I'll hope to see you tomorrow. If not, I'll be back Monday. Thank you for being here.